Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. He roamed the wilderness unafraid, from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
It was the night before Christmas, and the hot pie sellers in the streets made all New Orleans smell like Mama's kitchen. This year, though, fast as my thoughts turned to Mama's kitchen, I steered him away. It was a long road home, and I had other plans for the holiday. But before it was over, I was to learn there's more than one road to Christmas. Sure as my name's Jim Bowie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, mon ami.
Same to you, Maurice. A hot rum toddy, please. Well, where is it? Let's see it.
I searched for 3 days before making my choice. If you're not satisfied, our friendship is at an end.
Well, now, look at this. That's a beautiful brooch. Oh, I sure wish I could see Mama's face when she finds this in her Christmas stocking.
Perhaps you should change your mind and deliver it to her in person.
Might as well ask me to change the course of the Mississippi River. My shipment of indigo is held up on a sandbar just above Natchez. Won't make New Orleans till Christmas night.
It means a lot to you, that shipment.
$10,000, clear profit.
I think she would gladly exchange it for a sight of that ugly face of yours.
Now, listen, Maurice, there are times when I wish you'd stop telling me how to run my life. I mean,
Bowie of Opelousas?
Merry Christmas, sir. I can handle my own affairs, you know.
They say that you are quite a great man, especially when there's a knife in your hand.
Is that so?
Look, monsieur, you are superfluous. This quarrel is between friends.
No, my dear sir, no. No. It is you who are superfluous.
Where is he? Where's that fellow?
He left in a hurry.
Which way to go? Where to go?
Who can tell? Perhaps to spend Christmas with his mother.
Now, listen, Maurice, there's no time to be amusing. Where's that? Wait a minute. Where's that brooch? He took it. Anyone know that man?
I have seen him, I think. Last night at the baccarat table.
Yeah? What's his name?
My memory is not good.
Maybe I can help your memory.
Monsieur, with all respect, his name I do not know. Only that his home is Bellecine.
Bellecine, where's that?
About 20 miles up the river road.
Jim, you shouldn't go alone. My drink is on the house. Afternoon, sir. Afternoon, miss. Could you buy
Alcibiade, my son. Welcome.
I'm sorry, sir. There's been some
Yes, Alcibiades here. Alcibiades returned.
Miss, what is all this?
Dear, dear uncle.
Huh?
Please, say nothing. I'll explain later.
Did I not say my prayers would be answered?
Come, let's go in.
Oh, no, my dear. You need no longer bear an old man's weight. Alcibiades is here. Alcibiades. Your arm. You see, Israel, Alcibiades has come home.
Now, look, mademoiselle, I can't...
Monsieur, it's Christmas Day, and you have it in your power to give a great gift to all of us here at Bellassine. Oh, I know you won't refuse.
I'm sorry, I've come to Bellassine for an entirely different reason.
Please? You see, I can explain why you're washing.
Hmm?
The water is beautifully hot,
Yeah.
and you are rather dusty.
Yeah.
The old gentleman downstairs is Jean-Baptiste Plochel. His daughter was my mother, and his son, his only son, was my Uncle Alcibiades.
The man he takes me for? Must be a strong resemblance, huh?
Well, there is enough for him. My uncle, too, was tall and dark-haired. And he was the handsomest, gayest, kindest creature, my mother used to say. And the one his father loved best in all the world. This is his room. It's just as he left it 20 years ago.
20 years ago? Well, he'd have changed by now. He'd be middle-aged. Can't the old gentleman see that?
Well, he sees what he wants to see. For him, those 20 years have never been. And Alcibiades is still the young man who set off so gaily for Paris to make his grand tour. It was a day in spring when he went away. And he promised his father he would come back to have Christmas dinner with him. But God willed otherwise. And his ship was lost with all on board.
I see. So that's why your grandfather is so confused.
Well, consider, monsieur, his only son. My mother used to say he was never the same man. Never. Now he's old, and his mind is clouded, and he thinks that you...
Yeah, I know what he thinks. But I'm sorry, this is just a piece of bad luck for both of us.
It's been the same for so many Christmases. This morning at daylight, he was rapping his cane on the back gallery, calling all the servants together. This room must be arranged and dinner prepared, and all must be in readiness for the return of Alcibiades. And then he sat down to wait, faithfully, like a child.
Mademoiselle, I know what you're intending to ask, and I hope you won't.
Well, how can I not ask you? It's what I've prayed for, that God would give just one more happy Christmas Day to my grandfather. And the good God answered me. Why else are you here? You understand now. You will let him believe just for this one day that you're his son. You will grant him his Christmas dinner with Alcibiades.
I'm afraid I can't. I mean, I'm here on urgent business of my own.
Welcome home, Mr. Alcibiades.
No, I'm not going to wear another man's clothes.
It's his coat. Put it on.
I don't want to wear his thing.
First one arm,
Well, I can tell you right now, it
Then the other.
It won't fit.
So.
There's no point in trying.
Oh, no, Alcibiade. I would like you next to me. Where is André? André?
Fool of a Josh forgot to wake me. I'm terrible.
Andre.
I beg to be excused.
We will not excuse you. Come, pay your respects to your uncle.
What?
Your uncle, Alcibiade.
André, follow your sister's example and make your uncle welcome.
Welcome, Uncle.
Oh, no, Israel, my son. Our Heavenly Father, on this Christmas day, we remember the Holy Family, keeping the first Christmas under a humble roof. And we ask thy blessing upon the families of men who cherish this day above all others, united in love of one another and of thee. Amen. Esme, 2 lumps.
I beg to be excused.
My children, by the grace of God, we are all here together, perhaps for the last time, and I have a duty to perform. Your arm, my son. Esme, André, please attend us to the library.
Lead on, Uncle. Surely you know the way to the library.
Oh, Andre, don't joke. Grandpapa, you take my arm. Uncle Alcibiade's legs are so long, I'm sure he must tire you.
Put that down. You're safe under this roof. And you've had enough to drink. Look, if I can put on a good face to give your grandfather a happy Christmas, so can you. Come on.
Here, my son, here is the treasure of de Rochelle. Alcibiade, come and stand beside me. Here are the family seals with the coat of arms of de Plochelle, which we have had since the First Crusade. Ah, and here is the deed to this house, Bellissime, with all its broad acres. And here are the jewels of Plochelle, made to the order of my namesake, the great Jean-Baptiste de Plochelle, Marshal of France, in the time of Henry IV. For generations, these jewels have graced the ladies of our family. On your wedding day, you will present them to your wife with my blessing. When my father grew old and tired as I am now, I had this key from his hands. And in receiving it, I assumed the guardianship of the treasure of Flochelle, of the destiny of Flochelle, and the honor of Flochelle. Take it, my son.
Oh, sir, I can't.
Alcibiade, I command you, lock the strongbox. And now, you are master here, my son. Oh, thank God for this day. Esme, I'm very tired.
Well, come and rest.
Bowie, I stole your brooch, you know that. I regretted it immediately, but I had no choice. I have immense gambling debts, and there is no one I can turn to.
If you're looking for sympathy from me, you're wasting your breath. You belong behind bars. I'd be happy to put you there. But I don't want to see those two suffer. So if you give me back my brooch, I'll consider the debt canceled.
Certainly. On condition that you give me the key to the strongbox.
Not a chance.
What I ask is not wrong. Alcibiade is dead. I am my grandfather's heir. When he dies, the jewels will be mine, but I must have money now.
You worthless. You think I'd help you sell those jewels?
No, I don't intend to sell them. I merely intend to offer them as a security for a loan. And when my grandfather's estate is mine, I shall reclaim them and no one will be the wiser.
Your grandfather mentioned the Flochelle honor. How do you figure to reclaim that?
What do I care about the Flochelle honor? For years, I've been living in the shadow of a dead man. I'm treated like a child. I have nothing that is mine. Everything's for Alcibiade.
Keep your voice down.
Bowie, I warn you. If you don't give me that key, I shall go to my grandfather and I shall tell him the truth.
Well, there's the door.
Will you give me that key?
Alcibiade!
Yes, sir? I'm here.
This is a strong hand. It's a man's hand. My boy is a boy no longer.
Well, consider. He's been gone for nearly a year.
A year? I don't know. Sometimes it seems like a dream. Alcibiade?
Yes, sir?
Was the turkey to your taste?
Yeah, it was the best I ever ate.
I remember that you liked it dressed with pecans. The big pecans from the tree on the bayou. I had them gathered expressly for you.
He's asleep. Monsieur. Monsieur, I have no words to thank you.
Oh.
And I know my brother, too, is very grateful.
I wouldn't be too sure of that, mademoiselle.
Well, I know he may not think it's manly to say so, but I know what's in his heart. And I know, too, that he is sometimes very lonely. It's good that he has a friend like you.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say we were friends exactly. Might say we had some business dealings.
Well, you came here on business. But you will stay as a friend?
I'm afraid that's impossible. I have to be in New Orleans tonight. What's the old gentleman going to say when he wakes up and finds I've left?
Monsieur, You came to us as a gift of God. And God does not send his gifts incomplete. He'll provide.
Well, that seems an awful lot to ask. Even of God. Excuse me.
Monsieur, if you will accompany me to the garden, I think we can conclude our transaction.
All right.
Turn around. The key. Give it to me. I'll cut it out of you.
All right, I give up. You can have the key.
All right. Give it to me.
Andre, Mr. Bowie. You see, monsieur, it's as I said. God does not give his gifts incomplete.
I've never known how to ask for pardon. But you know, somehow after all that has passed, it is not so difficult to say, forgive me.
And you've learned something worth knowing. Maybe I have, too.
What is this?
You said you needed security for a loan.
But you've forgotten I've just inherited my... Yes. Yes, you are right. Those jewels are not really mine at all, are they? I am just their guardian. You trust me.
And it's not a gift. Just as soon as you're out of your difficulties, I expect it back, and don't you forget that.
But the woman for whom it was intended...
The woman for whom it was intended is my mother. But she'd just as soon have something else. And I'm going to give it her.
Monsieur Bowie, I cannot imagine what your mother could find more magnificent than this.
Well, I've never considered myself magnificent, but who am I to argue with Mama? Come on, boys. We're going home. Merry Christmas.
And here's the star of our show, Scott Forbes. Hello.
hope you enjoyed tonight's show, and that you'll be with us next week for another adventure in the exciting life of Jim Bowie.
He roamed the wilderness unafraid, from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie. He was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
The Lone Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Little boy, all right. It's a plenty good thing we ride this way.
Pancher's scaring the line away. Are you an outlaw?
My friend and I are on the side of the law. This mask is a symbol of justice. You know, these woods can be full of danger. Are you here all alone?
Uh-huh. I'm Robbie Talbot. Mom and I live just down the valley. I was looking for a Christmas tree. That one there. I started to get it when the lion came.
Isn't there someone who can help you?
Only Mom. I'm the man in the family. I know it's 2 weeks before Christmas, but I thought I'd get the tree decorated early. Might cheer Mom up a little.
Well, it's a fine tree. Suppose we help you.
That's plenty big axe for a little boy to handle.
Oh, I can handle it all right. But I guess he wouldn't mind if you helped.
Right, boys.
Mom's sure gonna like this tree. I just gotta make this the best Christmas she ever had. Gosh, it sure looks easy when you do it.
Come on, Robbie. Let's head for your ranch.
Let me show you. This is where Pop did some of his work. I used to help him carve on the smaller things. My Pop's the best saddle maker in the whole West.
Well, I'm sure he is, Robbie.
Maybe he met him someplace, huh? Ben Talbot?
Robbie, please.
He's been in about every mining town in the state.
We never hear of him.
He's going to be home for Christmas, isn't he, Mom?
Well, perhaps, Robbie, but don't count on it.
I guess that'd be about the best Christmas present we could have. And we wouldn't care if he never found any gold, as long as he came home.
Son, why don't you take care of our guest horses? I'm sure they could use some water and maybe some oats.
Sure, Mom. I got so busy talking about Pop, I clean forgot my manners. Be right back.
Sure, son. You're very proud of Robbie, aren't you, Mrs. Talbot?
Oh, I am. You know, if it weren't for Robbie, well, there are times I don't think I could go on.
You feel better when husband get back.
Well, that's just it. I know Ben won't be home for Christmas. I think Robbie knows it, too, but he's just trying to cheer me up.
Has Mr. Talbot been gone long?
6 months. Oh, I've prayed he'd give up this crazy search of his, but, well, it's gone on too long. I'm sure he's afraid to return home a failure.
Him want gold, that bad?
Oh, I'm not blaming him, really. After all, he's doing it for me and for Robbie. But it's become so important to him. I sometimes wonder if he's forgotten the things he left behind.
Gold fever does strange things to a man, Mrs. Talbot. Do you hear from him at all?
Well, the letters don't come very often. He moves from camp to camp, you know. Oh, he tries so hard to be cheerful, but, oh, I know how it must be for him. At this moment, I have no idea where he is.
Has he given up his business completely?
Yes. Ben's always had the idea that unless he was rich, Robbie and I wouldn't be happy. Oh, he's so wrong. All we ever wanted was to be together and to be a family.
Boy, say him saddle maker. There's plenty need for men like him.
I know. Well, if only he would realize that we love him for himself. You know, all Robbie dreams of is to be as good a saddle maker as his father.
Your horses are watered, masked man. And gosh, that stallion of yours is really something.
Thanks, Robbie. I think we'd better be on our way.
Mister, I have something for you.
What is it?
It's a leather watch case I made for Pop's Christmas present. I was going to surprise him, but now, would you like to have it?
I'd like it very much, Robbie. Thank you.
And if you ever see my Pop, would you tell him, please tell him, that Mom and I love him, and we sure do miss him.
Thank you.
What do you think, Kimasabi?
Ben Talbot has a misguided sense of values. He's lost, Tonto. If he can't find himself, maybe somebody else ought to try.
Boys say if father come home, it's the best Christmas present he and mother ever have.
We're going to try to make that wish come true. Come on. In Gold River?
Ben Talbot gone almost 2 months. Him not have many friends. People say him always keep to himself. Him have bad gold fever.
Could you find out where he went?
Them think maybe him go to town name of Anderson. Their new gold strike there.
That's about 30 miles from here.
What do you say to Ben Talbot when we see him?
Well, I don't know, Tonto. We've got to find him first. Let's move out.
This ghost town, Kimasabi?
Ghosts don't make music, Tonto.
Stand right where you are.
Well, please don't be frightened. We're not outlaws.
Why'd you come here?
We'd like to ask you a few questions. We're looking for a man who used to live here.
There ain't nobody left in Anderson but Martha and me.
Our name's Hannah. And like my husband says, we're the only ones living here now.
Others all gone?
They left when the gold vein ran out about a month ago.
Fools, all of them. Looking for something they ain't never going to find.
I agree with you, Mr. Hanna. That's exactly why we're here. Oh, I'm sorry if we interrupted you.
Oh, no. Josh and me were just singing some Christmas songs. It's kind of a regular habit with us at Christmas time.
Why you not leave with others?
Because it's our home, for one thing. We had a boy. He's buried on a little hill outside of town. Got killed by a miner that went crazy with the gold fever.
Josh and me are getting on in years. And our needs are simple. We'll be happier here in Anderson.
It's kind of nice here. Peaceful like. Nobody fighting and yelling over gold. Just Martha and me and our boy. Together at Christmas like it used to be.
You said you were looking for someone?
A man named Ben Talbot. We understand he lived here in Anderson a few months ago.
Yes, remember Josh? That quiet fella stayed down at the boarding house.
Oh, yes, I remember. Seemed like a nice enough sort. But there was always something kind of strange about him. Like something was eating at his insides, driving him on.
He was looking for gold like the others, but somehow Ben was different.
Well, if he hadn't got mixed up with the Stark brothers, why, he might have turned out all right Sunday.
Stark brothers?
Oh, they're a couple of real bad ones. Always causing trouble. I wouldn't put nothing past those two. Had a couple of robberies here in town. Folks thought maybe the Starks done it, but they never could prove it.
When the vein ran out, Ben left town with the Starks.
You hear them say where them go?
Well, Bear Creek, most likely.
That's quite a ways, mister. You aren't planning to ride tonight, are you? We've got a whole town full of rooms here.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Hanna, but I think we'd better be going.
You're real anxious to find Ben, ain't you?
Yes. We appreciate what you've told us. You've been very kind.
Good luck in your search, mister, and Merry Christmas to both of you.
The same to you folks. Merry Christmas.
Go on, Martha, play some more. Play the one our Jim used to like.
The angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay their sheep on a cold winter's night.
What did you find out, Tonto?
Bank in Danville robbed by 3 men. 2 Stark brothers were recognized.
Was the third man Ben Talbot?
I may not know, Kimasabi. Posse already follow them. Sheriff think them take direction of Anderson, but him lose trail.
Maybe we'll have better luck.
Trail of Talbot take us to many town. You think maybe this time we find him?
Tonto, I'm sure of one thing. The man with the Stark brothers is Ben Talbot, and we do find him. He won't be spending Christmas at home. Come on.
We lost the posse for good, all right. Better hole up in Anderson for a day or so. Nobody'd think to come looking for us there.
Yeah, look over there.
If they're after us, we'll fight them off from town. Come on.
They robbed a bank in Danville. We trail them here. Where's your wife, Mr. Hanna?
Down by the old cafe. She's safe enough. Is Ben Talbot with him?
We not know yet. There's one other man.
Got to figure a way to get over there.
Hey, there's a back door to the hotel. Leads right into the lobby.
Tonto, keep me covered. I'm going over there.
Man's on this side of the street. I can't see him now.
He ain't got a prayer getting in here. Not against 3 guns.
I don't like this, George. It's too quiet out there. Something's gone on.
If you're so worried, why don't you go out and take a look?
That isn't necessary, mister. Now drop your guns.
Look, mister, you're wearing a mask. Maybe we can make a deal. We're carrying a lot of gold in our saddlebags.
I don't wear this mask to cover criminal acts. Save your pleas for the judge. Now outside.
Well, doggone if he didn't get them all. Yep, it's them Starks, all right.
Hold it! Tonto, keep them covered.
You sure done a bang-up job getting these fellas. But it looks like your search for Ben Talbot ain't over.
What do you mean?
Well, that sure ain't him.
Are you positive?
Yep. That ain't him. I thought sure Ben was riding with you, no counts.
He was, Pop, but he ain't no more.
What happened?
As soon as he found out we were planning a robbery, he pulled out. Told my brother first off he wouldn't be no use to us.
Where's Ben Talbot now?
Still looking for gold, I suppose. Last we heard, he was in Searle, little gold town north of here.
How long ago was that?
Last week.
Tonto, you take these men to the sheriff in Danville. You'll find the gold in their saddlebags.
You going to Ciro's with the mask on?
Don't reckon I will, sonny.
It's like I said, he tried to jump my claim. Ain't no man big enough to do that. I had to kill him.
Howdy, gents. Like to get a little information.
What are you going to pay?
Just looking for a fella. Thought you might know him.
Mind at that, old-timer. But you still got to pay.
Ain't gold. Guess what'll do, huh?
What's the question?
Looking for a fella named Talbot. Ben Talbot. Know where I might find him?
Might know just where he is, too.
Robbery. That's what it is. All right. Where'll I find him?
Right over there, pounding that steak in front of his tent.
Young whippersnippers always picking on an old-timer. It just ain't justice, that's all. Hey, Ben Talbot.
Yeah?
Like to talk to you a bit.
Oh, look, mister, I'm busy. Go talk to somebody else.
Ain't anybody else I want to talk to. You, son.
Like I said, I'm busy.
Too busy to talk about the wife and little Robbie?
What do you know about them? Has anything happened?
Nothing like that. Just thought you'd like to hear about the family.
What? Sure. Come and sit a spell.
Thank you.
How come you happen to be at my place?
Oh, just passing through. Horse got a little tired. Wife and boy gave me some water. That's sure a fine woman you got there, Ben. And that boy of yours, he's something to be proud of. Of course, don't have to tell you that, do I?
Are you sure they're all right?
Ain't sick. They sure ain't got anything to dance about.
What do you mean by that?
Well, now don't get me wrong, Ben. I ain't trying to pry. That family of yours sure lonesome.
Well, don't you think that's my business?
Sure it is. Just thought you'd like to hear from home. Ain't having much luck finding gold, are you?
I'll strike it one of these days.
When you do, Ben, think it'll make you happier?
I can give my family everything. All they've ever wanted.
All I want is you, Ben. You ever think of that? By the time you find what you're looking for, that boy of yours is going to be all grown up. Best part of having kids is watching them grow, develop into something you can be proud of. Too bad if you miss that.
How come you're so interested in me? You're a prospector. You ought to know how it is.
Yep, reckon I do. You ain't the first man to leave his family and go looking for gold. Sometimes a fella waits too long. Gets too late to go back. Ain't too late for you, Ben. You can still be home by Christmas.
Yep. A failure.
Depends on what you call a failure, Ben. Those men back there, fighting, killing, full of greed. When they do strike it rich, they gotta fight just as hard to keep it. Is that what you want, Ben? You want your wife and boy to live that kind of a life?
I thought about all that. I've even tried going back. I must admit the glitter of gold has become a bit tarnished by now, but how can I face them? I want them to be proud of me.
They are proud of you, Ben. Proud that you're a saddle maker.
You know about that?
Yeah, sure do. Your boy told me. Oh, say, plumb near forgot. Made this himself for your Christmas present.
Robbie made this?
Sure did. Mighty proud of you, Ben. Said he wanted to grow up to be just like you.
It is a beautiful piece of work. Quite a boy, isn't he? Imagine him making this for me.
Still a couple of days left before Christmas. Ben, you can be home by Christmas Eve if you wanna. Merry Christmas.
Lunch is about ready, Robbie. You want to wash up first?
I'll get that wood in first, Mom. Be kind of nice to have a fire on Christmas Eve. Mom!
What is it, son?
Look, Mom, look! He's coming home! Pop!
Merry Christmas, son.
Merry Christmas, Pop!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Ben.
I knew you'd come home, Pop. I just knew it.
And I'm home to stay this time, Robbie. And that's a promise. To my family and to the Lone Ranger. I'll Silver! Away!
Na, Fury, wie wär's mit einem kleinen Ausritt? Hast du Lust?
Well, we got 6 bales down here. You get enough?
No, I think we better bring some more in from the shed. Hey, come here. I want you to see something.
Huh?
Here, look at this.
Hey.
Here. Isn't that a beauty?
Dandy.
For Joey. Here. Oh, wait a minute. Here. Here, look at this.
Hey.
Will Pee Wee have a time with that?
He sure will.
I hit him on purpose just to worry the boys a little. They sure will be surprised when they see him.
Surprised? I ain't heard him talking about nothing else for weeks.
Oh, they probably know they're getting him all right, but it'll still be a kick tomorrow morning.
Liable not to be noticed with all that clutter you got stuffed under the tree.
Yeah? How about that clutter you've got stuffed under the tree, huh?
You dag nabbit, I ain't pretending. I'm just as guilty as you are. We're both spoiling them kids rotten.
8, 9. Gosh, only 9 presents.
What are you so sore about? I only got 7.
Well, I'm older than you are.
It's not here. My big present's not here. Jim forgot to get it.
What big present?
My new fishing rod. Ought to be a long box here somewhere, and I don't see any.
Ought to be 2 long boxes. Jim promised he was going to get me that .22 rifle I've waited so long for.
I didn't promise you anything, Joey. Nor you, Pee Wee. Seems to me you boys are taking an awful lot for granted.
Gosh, Jim, it's just that all the kids at school have been bragging what they're going to get for Christmas.
Yeah, and you've been bragging right back at him.
Well, I just told him I was going to get a .22 rifle for my big present.
And I just told him I was getting a new fishing rod for mine. You ought to hear what they're getting.
Well, you can't expect Pete and me to think of everything. We've got to leave something for Santa Claus to do, don't we? Maybe he'll give you what you're asking for.
Sure. Santa Claus never forgets a thing.
Yeah. He delivers presents to kids all over the world, all in one night.
What'd I tell you?
Yeah, I guess you're right, Pete. Seems you boys need a little brushing up on the true meaning of Christmas. Pete, I think after we finish dinner, we'll have you read a passage from a book.
What kind of book?
The greatest book ever written. The Bible.
And ascertained from them what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, that I too may come and worship him. When they had heard the king, they went their way, and lo, the star which they had seen in the east went before them, till it came to rest over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother. And they fell down and worshipped him.
Thank you, Pete.
Now can we go open our presents?
That does it. Here I've been reading you the true meaning of this holiday, and all you're worried about is when can you open your presents. I'll wager a cross-eyed heifer you was listening to a word I was reading.
Gosh, Pete, you don't have to get sore.
I don't blame Pete for sounding off. I do the same thing myself, only louder. Except I'm so disgusted with you kids. All right, go ahead. If that's all you can think about, those packages over there, tear them open. Don't bother waiting for Christmas, because as far as I'm concerned, it's not Christmas at all. It's just another excuse for a couple of greedy boys to see how much they can add to what they already have. I'm ashamed of both of you.
And if I had my way, I'd take 2 of the toughest branches on that tree and switch the both of you.
Now we're in Dutch.
We're in double Dutch.
I don't see why they got so mad. It's not as though we didn't know all the stuff Pete was reading.
Now what do we do?
As long as we're in Dutch, we might as well open our presents.
Yeah. Some of Pete can't get any madder than they already are.
Hey, listen.
Listen to what?
Can't you hear it?
Hear what?
The bells.
Aw, quit your kidding, Joey. Come on, let's get at these presents.
Oh, listen.
God, you're right.
I don't see anything, do you?
Well, go on, answer it.
Well, you come with me.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Same to you, old-timer.
Well, thank you. Thank you kindly. Well, doggone Vixen. Well, doggone Vixen, I almost forgot about you, and you carrying all that load.
I could swear I've been hearing jingle bells.
Merry Christmas!
Same to you.
I'm Jim Newton. This is Joey and Pee-wee.
How do you do?
Hi, sir.
Joey, Pee-wee.
This is my partner, Pete Wilkie.
Well, howdy to all of you. My name is Chris.
Chris?
They're spelled with a K, but most folks call me Uncle Chris. Yeah, well, I hope I'm not bothering you good folks none, but I'm afraid I need some directions.
Well, it's no bother at all. Where are you headed?
Where am I? Oh, I got it wrote down somewhere. I got to write everything down, else I forget it. Will you excuse me? You know, oh, bless my old bones, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for Vixen. Because she leads me, you know, and I follow. Here it is, girl. Yeah. I want to go to Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah.
We're off the trail, old-timer.
Oh, I am, huh? Well, I expect that most people get off the trail sometime or other, and then they need somebody else to put them back up again. Don't you think so, boys?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking for Jed Perkins' place. He's my nephew, and I heard that he wanted to see me.
Jed Perkins. I don't seem to recall the name.
Oh, well, I reckon you wouldn't. He just moved into the hollow.
Well, of course, Sleepy Hollow's a good 4 miles from here. You take the road past Indian Mountain.
Oh, well. Well, thank you for your kindness. Come on, old girl, we got a mosey.
Oh, wait a minute, old-timer. It's a little cold to be traveling. Why don't you bunk in with us for the night?
Oh, well, cold never bothered us. No, Vixen and me have wandered through many a blizzard together.
That road to Sleepy Hollow's rough going.
Well, if it gets too rough, I'll just crank Vixen's ears into a pair of wings and we'll fly over, huh? Well, thank you for your kindness and Merry Christmas.
Gee, Uncle Chris, you better stay.
Your burro must be hungry, Uncle Chris.
Well, now that's very considerate of you boys to think of that. Because it does remind me of an old saying. Donkeys like donkeys and goats like goats, but next to himself, a burro likes oats. Oh, it'd be a real treat for Vixen if you could spare her a few. I just ran out a little while back.
We'll take her to the barn.
Oh, you better get your coats, boys.
My nephew's got a couple of sprouts just about their size. Kids sure fill a house with happiness.
Sometimes I could wring their necks.
Come on, Vixen, we'll fix you up.
Come on.
Come on, go with him.
Come on, Vixen.
Well, come on in the house, Uncle Chris. I bet you could stand a little food, couldn't you?
Well, I reckon I could, because I just ran out of canned beans, too. Well, thank you.
Come
thank
right
you
on
very
in.
much.
All right.
Hey, you noticed the pipe that Uncle Chris was smoking? Just like the one in that poem about St. Ned. And the way he put his finger to the side of his nose and called his burro Vixen. All he needs is a red suit to look like a real Santa Claus. That is, if there was a real Santa Claus.
If there was a real Santa Claus. But that's kid talk.
Yeah, that's kid talk, all right.
Sure, kid talk. What else?
No more for me, thank you. And you know, once a fella said to me, he said, Chris, you're too old to follow that burro around. Why don't you trade her in for a Jeep? Well, I says to him, I says, look, when you're traveling alone, you don't get any companionship or understanding out of a Jeep. No, sir. There's no other animal has the same friendly and knowing qualities as the burro. Did you boys notice the mark on Vixen's back?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, that's the Savior's cross. Every burro carries it on his back, even to this day. Sets him apart from all other animals. Because you must know that the Lord Jesus could have had any manner of steed that he wanted to ride on. But he chose the little burro. The way I figured, he wanted to convey a lesson. He wanted people to keep things simple. Even to celebrating his birthday. Well, bless my spectacles, I am a windbag. I've been rattling on here, and my nephew and his family will be wondering what's happened to me.
Perkins, the only relative you have, Uncle Chris?
Oh, golly, no. I got more kin than you can shake a willow switch at. I got nieces and nephews and cousins and all kinds of kin. I can't even count them all.
How do you keep up with them?
Well, I managed to somehow. Well, I'm certainly obliged for your kindness and your victuals. I'm going to get Vixen now and we'll hit the trail.
Oh, I have a better idea than that. Why don't you leave Vixen here in the barn and let me drive you over in the car?
Oh, well, now there'll be a heap of trouble for you.
Oh, there's no trouble at all. Pete, why don't you warm it up?
Sure. Jim, is it all right if me and Pee-wee go with you?
I thought you two were in such a hurry to open your Christmas presents.
Oh, they can wait till morning.
Yeah, we kind of like to go along with Uncle Chris, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and we can ride Fury and Pokey and take Vixen with us. All right?
Well, sure, it's all right. I think it might be a very good idea if you met the Perkins family. A very good idea. Golly, I guess this nephew of mine wanted to talk to me worse than I thought.
Yeah, his place is sure run down.
Hi, young fella.
Hi.
Who is it, Dad?
I don't know, Pa.
Hi, I'm Jim Newton from the Broken Wheel Ranch. Evening.
Gosh, Pa.
Somebody sick?
This is my wife. She's running a high fever.
Is there anything we can do to help?
Gosh, I don't know, mister. She's mighty sick, but anything you can do would be appreciated.
Sure.
In here, Mr. Newton. Sit down, Davy.
Hi, this is Mr. Newton. I'm a neighbor of yours, Mrs. Perkins. How do you feel?
Oh, I'll be all right.
She's burning up with fever. Did you call a doctor?
He wanted to, Mr. Newton, but we can't afford to pay a doctor.
Doc Adams isn't the kind to worry about when you pay him. Pete, will you get him?
I'm on my way.
Mom must be awful sick. That man looked worried.
Pete always looks that way.
Even when he's happy.
See, that's a nice tree you got there.
Yeah, sure different. Me and Tad fixed it up ourselves.
I see you got some presents, too. Bet you can't wait to open them.
Yeah, nothing like getting Christmas presents. They're not presents, really. I gave Davy the crayons he gave me last year, and he gave me the jackknife I gave him. I'm all mixed up. We did the same thing last Christmas. It's fun.
Well, the first thing we ought to do is get some heat in here. Do you have any blankets?
In the children's room.
Will you get them?
Thank you, Mr. Newton.
Joey, Pee-wee.
Yes, Jim?
Go on back to the ranch. Get all the canned goods you can find. Fruits, vegetables, soups, everything. Make it as quickly as you can, will you?
Sure, Jim. Come on, Pee-wee.
Where's your dad keep his axe? I want to chop some firewood.
What about my mom?
Will she be okay?
Yes, sure. She'll be fine.
These will take care of the Perkins family for a month. What you stopping for, Joey? Jim told us to hurry.
You know what I'm thinking?
Doc's been in there a long time.
Ah, he knows what he's doing. Ain't a better doctor in the whole state.
That's right. Hey, I wonder what became of Uncle Chris.
Darned if I know. I ain't seen him since we come here.
Well, come to think of it, neither have I. Uncle Chris? Who's Uncle Chris?
Your Uncle Chris. Who else?
I don't have an Uncle Chris. I don't even have an uncle.
You don't?
How is she, Doc? She'll be all right. The fever broke. Oh, thank goodness. Go on in. Thank you.
Me too, Doc?
Why, sure, all of you. Go in. Better see she stays in bed a few days, just to make sure. I will. Thanks, Doc.
Well, thanks for giving up your Christmas Eve, Doc.
It won't be the first one. A Merry Christmas, Jim.
Merry Christmas to you.
Hurry up, Pee-wee. Bring in that other sack.
Okay.
Here's the food, Jim. We emptied out the back.
Oh, that's fine, Joey. Thanks.
Come on, Pee-wee.
I'm coming. Boy, I sure wanted this harmonica. You're right, Fury. All or nothing. And thanks for delivering me from temptation.
Hey, can I give you a hand, Pee-wee?
No thanks, Jim. I can handle it myself.
How are things going in there, young man?
Why don't you go on in and find out for yourself, Uncle Chris?
Well, I'd better not, because that nephew of mine don't exactly approve of my prospecting, and it might lead to hassle.
Well, now, we couldn't have any of that, could we?
No, we better not. Well, I guess Vixen and me better be moseying along.
To see some of your other nephews, Chris?
Well, I sure got to pestle them.
You sure have. You certainly have.
Well, come on. Here we go, girl. Come on. Well, so long, young fella.
So long, Uncle Chris.
Merry Christmas!
Drop it.
What's that?
You'll see.
Well, Christmas is 1 minute old.
Merry Christmas!
Oh, Merry Christmas. You made it a real Merry Christmas for us. Thank you.
Well, I think you're thanking the wrong man.
What you doing? Let's open our Christmas presents.
Here you are.
Here.
Don't forget the one Santa Claus brought you.
Santa Claus? He wasn't here. Oh, yes, he was. Gee whiz! Look! Wow! Gee.
Well, looks like the spirit of Christmas had finally caught up with them two sprouts of ours.
Wow!
You know, Pete, I think they had it all along. I think it just took a little assist from an old prospector with a long white beard and a twinkle in his eye.
Gosh, Jim, it's a beauty. Gee, thanks.
Gosh, look at this fishing rod. And it's got a reel on it, too.
Sure.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Pete.
Me, too.
Oh, don't thank us, boys. Thank Santa Claus. He left them for you.
Gosh, I'm glad you and Pete believe in Santa Claus, because he left you something, too.
Huh? You did?
Just wait till you see it.
Jim? Pete?
What do you suppose this can be?
What you got there?
Oh, look at that. Pete, look at that. Isn't that a beauty?
Do you like it?
Oh, I sure do, Pee-wee. Thanks, boys.
Look! How did Santa Claus know I needed this?
Well, now, when are you going to wear it, Pete?
When'd you think? When I'm riding the range. Hey, where'd everybody go?
Man following us? Light hat, dark cape? I don't know him. Merry Christmas.
Come in.
Yancey, you rapscallion rascal, you.
Henry Spinner. I thought you were dead.
I'll live on forever. You're the spitting image of your daddy. The spitting image. I knew you were in New Orleans. That's why I sent for you. Who in Hades is that?
Pahu.
Pahu?
Pawnee, that means wolf. Well, why did you send for me?
Have you got Dixie back?
Dixie? I haven't seen hide nor hair of Dixie for 7 years.
That's strange. Not 10 minutes ago, a man came through that door and was asking questions about Dixie.
Uncle Henry, I'm not following you.
All right. Let's put it this way. Did you find the treasure that your daddy buried?
Treasure? Never heard about a treasure until just this moment. You mean my daddy buried it?
Yes, I mean he did. The important thing was how to leave instructions for you and your brother just in case your daddy perished. Now, he came to me with an idea.
Yancy, this is very serious. The plates are missing.
Plates? What plates?
Old Spinner. He was working on the plates for a new $100 greenback. They'd been approved by Washington. They're gone.
So is Uncle Henry. I'm going to find the man who had him murdered. And when I do, we'd better talk fast and tell where your plates are. Because he isn't going to have much time.
All right, now we string these popcorns all around the outer branches of the tree. No, Paul, who knows? You don't eat it now. You string the tree first, and then you eat it later. Oh, Marcia, I say, Paul, who don't seem to understand about Christmas tree. What'd you tell him?
Told him I'd explain about Christmas later.
Taking a very noisy language, is it? Look, Marcia, if you don't help us with this tree, we'll never get it done.
I haven't got much stomach for it, Obadiah.
It's the first Christmas we've had at Waverly in 7 years. It'll be like old times. If the Colonel could see it, he'd start right in stirring up a big batch of eggnog, and with a big spike in it.
All right. Let's get it finished. I'll go up the ladder. You hand me the candy canes and the popcorn.
Right away. Right away.
Thank you, Pahu. Obadiah, bring me some canes.
Yes, sir.
That sounds like... No, it can't be.
Can't be what?
For a moment, I thought it sounded like Dixie.
Can't be. It just can't be.
Yeah, you're right. You remember the Christmas the senior gave me, Dixie?
It was the Christmas of '61. It was 9 o'clock in the morning, and not a creature was stirring except the Colonel.
Might as well take your present upstairs with you. Might have given you the pick of the litter. But you'd pick the run anyhow.
Oh, come up here.
He's the smallest. Smartest, though. Thank you, Senior. It's a wonderful present. What'll I name him? I took a liberty of having Henry Spinner engrave a name tag for him. Called him Dixie. Sort of a nice name. Dixie. Hello, Dixie. It's a wonderful name. You make a good hound. Something else I want to say to you, Yancey. I've got a feeling that this war is going to change things. You'll be going away soon. But the good Lord is kind enough to spare you. I want you to come home to Waverly. Back here where folks love you. Merry Christmas, son. Merry Christmas, Senior.
That is Dixie. Obadiah, get the door. I'm going. I'm coming.
Dixie! Come on, boy. Careful, easy, Oh, Dixie, you beautiful slobbering beast. Where you been? Where you been, huh? Who brought him?
Judge James brought him.
Well, send him in.
Well, he's a coming, but he's not as spry as he used to be.
Well, that's a lot of nonsense. Only a silly young colt moves at a full gallop. An old horse walks and covers the whole pasture.
Oh, Dixie, you're beautiful. Just beautiful.
Uncle Jarrison, I can hardly believe it's you.
I'm not your uncle, for which I thank my maker. I came here today for 2 reasons. 1, to give you back this dog, and 2, to tell you that I think you're a rude, unprincipled scoundrel, and that I never want to see you again as long as I live.
Those are pretty harsh words, sir.
They're meant to be.
May I ask why?
Not that I expected to see you the instant you got back to New Orleans.
Uncle Jarrison, I didn't even know that
But
you were...
in view of the fact that I've taken care of this meat-eating monster all these years, ever since your family left the scene, I think your conduct was most reprehensible in sending a servant to pick up Dixie without a thank you or a fare thee well.
Uncle Jarrison, I didn't send a servant.
I sent your servant packing with a crack on the skull, I tell you.
When was this?
Yesterday, as you well know.
Now, Uncle Jarrison, just simmer down. I didn't send a servant for Dixie. I didn't know that you were alive. I didn't even know that he was alive.
Is that the truth, boy?
Yes, sir, that's the truth.
Obadiah, make us a couple of mint juleps.
Yes, Judge.
And go light on the mint.
As usual, Judge.
Welcome home, boy.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry I went up in smoke, but the fact is someone posing as your servant did try for the dog.
No, that's strange. I wonder why.
Because... Well, let's sit down. Because Dixie knows where the Colonel buried the Derringer treasure.
Derringer treasure?
Yes, when Admiral Farragut was downriver, your daddy said to me, Jerrison, I think the Yankees are going to take New Orleans. I'm going to get some gold, and I'm going to put it in a safe place. I warned him that gold was scarce, but he went ahead and did it.
So he buried it.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody was digging holes to put their valuables in.
Thank you, Obadiah.
You were there too, Obadiah.
Yes, sir. There was me, and there was Dixie, the Colonel, and Miss Nellie.
Miss Nellie?
Your brother David's wife.
A sweet and pretty young lady as ever set her foot in this house. And she went with your daddy when he buried that treasure. She and Dixie.
Where's she now?
Oh, she's probably gone back to her family in Memphis after your brother David was killed in action.
Well, if Senior did bury that
Well,
treasure...
he did all right, because your mother gave him some things to put in that chest. Her treasure, she called them.
Mother's treasure.
Sir.
Where did he bury it?
Ask Dixie.
Dixie?
Well, that's what the Colonel said. Ask Dixie, and he'll tell you.
The collar. There's nothing there.
If you could only speak.
Come on, Dixie. Same man you saw on the street? You can't go in there, Dixie. Hounds aren't allowed. You take care of him, please, Papa. Oh, Jeremiah.
Yancy.
Hello, Francie.
I thought you were still upriver.
I was, just got back.
Come on, let me buy you a drink.
Wonderful.
I didn't really expect to see you until after Christmas.
Well, I really came for two reasons. One, who is the man with the spade cufflinks?
You're 100, and I'll bump you 100.
His name's Salisbury. He's a stranger in town, has a guest card. That's all I know. Next question?
Well, two, it's been 7 years since I've had Christmas at Waverly. I was just wondering if you'd have Christmas dinner with me.
Oh, Yancy.
Meaning no.
Well, meaning I have other plans. I'm so sorry.
We can still have the drink.
Sure. Who is it?
Tip McNeil. Look like someone's hiring cutthroats. $500 is more money than he's ever had at one time in his whole life.
Pardon me, gentlemen. Pardon me.
Who would want to kill you?
Not me.
Pa who?
My dog, Dixie.
Oh, Yancy, that's ridiculous. No one would hire a gun to assassinate a dog.
Well, someone did. Probably the same man that hired Finn Whistler to kill Henry Spinner. You'd better get this to the police. They'll know where to find me. You know, Uncle Jarrison was probably right. Dixie does know where Senior buried the loot. Someone's afraid she'll show me.
Why, Yancy, she's coming. She's coming.
Who's coming?
Your brother David's wife, Miss Nellie.
Get down there and open the
Well,
door.
her carriage is down front now. Come on.
Come on, Dixie.
Miss Nellie, welcome back home.
Obadiah, it's been a long time.
It sure has.
Welcome to Waverly, Miss Nellie.
Yancy. Yancy Derringer. You look so much like David. If I'd have known you anywhere. Well, Dixie, whatever do you suppose is distressing him?
Dixie, that's no way to act. Miss Nellie's your old friend. Come on now, get out there, get. He's just getting long. He's getting old and crotchety. But he'll be all right as soon as he remembers you.
Despite Dixie's senility, we're delighted to have you.
Yancy, I'll aspire to have you know my cousin, Dean Salisbury.
How do you do?
Didn't I see you last night in New Orleans? That incident at Madame Francine's.
Oh, you were there?
Yes.
Dean, I thought you said you were tired.
The fact is, Miss Nellie was travel-weary. She thought it might be nice if we stopped over at a hotel and freshen up a bit before we came to Waverly this morning. So I was playing a little poker.
Well, Yancy, I didn't want to look like something off a river bottom. Well, next thing you'd be thinking, what did Brother David ever see in her?
Never could.
Yancy, shall I take my old room?
Of course. Obadiah.
Yes, sir.
And I don't want you to be thinking we're going to stay forever. Cousin Dean has taken me to California, and I just thought it might be like old times to have Christmas at Waverly.
It's wonderful. We'd love to have you. Obadiah, will you give Miss Nellie her old room and Mr. Salisbury the guest room?
Thank you.
Yes, I know. He was the man on the street when Henry Spinner was murdered. So that means he got here long before last night. What's a nice girl like Miss Nellie doing with a man like that? Well, Francie, how nice to see you.
Hello,
Come in.
Yancy. I can't stay. I've got to get right back to the city.
Now, you didn't drive all the way out to Waverly just to tell me that.
I found out about the man with the spade cufflinks. I thought you should know.
A man by the name of Dean Salisbury?
Card shark, thief, riverboat blackleg, fast with a pistol, and the pistol is for hire.
Cousin to my dead brother's wife.
Cousin of the devil, never your brother's wife.
You know, the Pinkertons can use a memory like yours.
They do.
Let me buy you a drink.
No, I'm sorry, Yancy. I have to get back to the club.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Be careful. Very careful.
Thank you, Francie. Obadiah.
Yes, sir.
You are sure that this Miss Nellie is the same Miss Nellie?
Well, of course I'm sure. But I can't understand about Dixie. He used to be wild about that girl.
Dogs are born honest and they don't change, but something else has changed. And it all started yesterday. Mr. Spinner was murdered.
Oh, the pity. That poor old man. Marsh Yancey. Remember he gave your daddy the gold pin with the whole Declaration of Independence engraved on its head. You remember?
On the head of a pin.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. Dixie! Never did have any manners. Come on. No dogs on the tape. Come on. There it is. 3 steps north, oak, front lawn.
Sure is. Ain't very heavy, is it? Up to the house. Up to Marsh Yancey's room.
Time's running out. Let's get on with it. And don't drink any of this stuff.
Dean, you promised me now you're not going to hurt anybody.
It's a little late for that.
What do you mean? You said you weren't...
Shut up. Here he comes.
Dixie, you lie down and be quiet. You heard me.
I Imagine what's happened to him. We used to be such good friends.
We just isn't used to being home yet. Well, what have we here?
Well, since it was Christmas Eve, I thought we might have a little Christmas cheer together before dinner.
It's a lovely idea.
Speak a little plainer. Oh, round back.
You put quite a spike.
Hurry, get the collar.
Where's that Indian?
I don't know, but get the collar. You let him get away.
He's not going to get away.
You're not going to kill him.
He's got $50,000 in gold in that collar.
I don't mind missing Christmas, but what happened to New Year's Eve? You mean Dixie?
Bullet just grazed his skull. Collar's missing. He'll be all right. Come on, Dixie. Come on.
Pa who told me to bring it up here. You know, I'm beginning to understand old Pa who.
It's about time. It's pretty rusty.
Hold it, Derringer. Get back against the wall. Obadiah, too. Tell that Indian one wrong move out of him and he's a dead Indian. Alithia, get the chest.
Alithia?
Nellie!
There's two of them. They're twins.
That will do, Mr. Salisbury. Drop your gun.
What the devil?
I came here to tell you everything was all right.
It is now.
I mean, we found Spinner's plate safely locked up. Who was this man?
Mr. Salisbury. He hired Finn Whistler to kill Mr. Spinner. And then he hired Tip-Tip to kill Dixie.
Then he was after the Derringer treasure.
And as you can see, he found it. All worthless. No gold at all. Just Confederate money. No treasure at all. Maybe I'm wrong. Mr. Colton, would you have your men take care of this?
Of course.
I'll be back in a minute. You said you were on your way to California. If I were you, I'd hurry.
Yancy? I'm sorry we had to meet this way.
It's better than that at all.
I could have told them that it was all Confederate money. Worthless. No treasure at all. David's baby mark. It was a treasure after all, wasn't it?
Welcome home.
Come on down, Marchand. It's Christmas Day.
What's all the shouting about? And why are you all dressed up? There isn't going to be anybody here for Christmas except you, Miss Nellie, and myself.
Don't you be too sure. Come on. Come on.
Merry
Christmas, Yancey.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Yancey.
Merry Christmas, Captain Tom. I hope you left some mistletoe aboard the Sultana.
Blast.
Merry Christmas, Pearl Girl.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Derringer.
Lavinia Lake. Merry Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas, Yancey. It's been a good year.
I hope we have many more.
Merry Christmas and a married New Year.
Married New Year?
Oh, I mean a happy one.
Merry Christmas, Bridget.
祝您圣诞快乐.
Which means?
Merry Christmas in Mandarin.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Celestial Lady.
Merry Christmas, Yancey.
Well, I thought you had a date.
I did have, with you.
Merry Christmas, Francis.
Merry Christmas, Yancey. It's good to be home again.
Nell, it's nice to have somebody in the family back again. Merry Christmas. I'll explain it later to you, Pa. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas over there.
Yancey?
Thank you.
Yancey, a toast.
Ladies and gentlemen, a toast. A toast to senior. To the good days that are gone, to the better days to come.